A very good morning to one and all present here. Myself, Sushant from CSI along with Ayushi Tiwari from RIT SCM, will be the host for the today's event. I hope that you enjoyed the last session of cybersecurity organized by ICM RIT and CSI RIT. We are back with the another session on cybersecurity on occasion of Founders Day. Today's session will be conducted by Mr. Ramesh Ogania sir, cyber forensics professional and cyber law consultant, CEO of Hector Digital Forensic Corporation. He is having 8 plus years of professional experience in cyber forensic and cyber incident investigations, including investigating various cyber incidents in corporates. He has presented research paper in National Science Forensic Conference in 2012 organized by Government of Maharashtra at Mumbai on the topics of cyber, anti-forensic, Bluetooth technology and hacking threats. Participants, please feel free to ask your doubts and take the maximum learning from this session. At the end of this session, we will be having quiz.
Okay. Before I start the session, actually, let me introduce you some technological part of the this forensics. So, how this forensics things are coming up into the market, and how it is differ from your hacking and cyber security. So, before going there, how many of you are aware of the searching technique? I think everyone is aware of the search, Google search, right? So Google is actually taking your data. When you are searching something, the Google is taking your data. Like Google, there are different tools available in the market. So since last 8 to 9 years, I am not using Google. The reason behind is that the Google is actually capturing all my personal data, what I am doing, where I am meeting, whom to I am talking. Everything is captured by the Google. Although I do not have any options, so this is the reason why I am actually at the Google meeting. Otherwise, I prefer to use Zoom or some other options. Mm, These are actually more private and maintaining to the privacy. Now, learning to the search engine, there are many different type of search engines available in the market. So, meta search engine is there, then macro search engines are there. So, what is the use of this search engine? Now, the new era came up with this search engine, is the cyber intelligence. How many of you are aware of the cyber intelligence? Okay, so cyber intelligence is a technique now. It is a latest technique came up into the market. My company is actually already developed one applications using the cyber intelligence. In cyber intelligence, what we do is that we actually acquire the information of the target beforehand, right? For example, uh, uh, my company actually acquired the information about Dr. Gautam Borkar. So, what is his qualification, from where he has actually acquired the degree, since how long he is actually teaching in the institute, what is his age, whether he is married or not, how many children do he has. This all information is there with us, and during this information, now actually we have the complete profile of the person. So this is the cyber intelligence. Same technique is used in the cyber intelligence for cyber crime investigation as well. So we actually uh, go for the cyber intelligence, cyber crime investigation technique also. So my company is actually under the process of developing the application on cyber intelligence, cyber crime investigation methodology, and this is we are going to donate to the government of Maharashtra. So this is the one of the best tool ever actually used in the industry. So any if you want to know anything about anyone using these tools, you can actually get the information about the person or a infrastructure or a technology or a technique. So this cyber intelligence has come up into the market. Now, if we people are aware that in South Africa they have already implemented this cyber intelligence investigation methodology and applications. So they now have the all the advanced database related to the criminal. So before the criminal commit a crime, they come to know that the whether this fellow is going to commit a crime or not. If not, then it's okay. Secondly, if the criminal is actually of historical data of like committing a crime against women or children, then that person is actually kept on the red zone, and wherever he moves using the GPS system, and how many people they are meeting means whether they are meeting in a group or whether they are planning to commit a crime in single-handed. So based on that, they can actually get arrested before any crime is committed. So these are the things normally now coming up into the cyber intelligence investigation. So now the old era has gone. Uh, just take the image and calculate the MD5 value and compare it with the original one and then analyze the data and thereafter you detect the criminal. Here the things are going to be the different. Sorry. So now how this cyber intelligence is going to be useful for students? With the help of the cyber intelligence, if you learn the cyber intelligence properly, you can actually forecast your future, your education, your actually future company, your future company's salary also. Everything you can actually forecast. Everything beforehand. Whether this specific company is going to hire or not, that also you can actually calculate. So I want all my colleagues and students to get more information and learn more about the cyber intelligence rather than learning in the cyber hacking and ethical hacking. Let me tell you, ethical hacking, there is no terminology in the law called the ethical hacking. Okay, as there is no such things as a ethical murder or ethical rape. So, in the same manner, there is no ethical hacking. Hacking is a crime. So, hacking is clearly defined under Section 66 as a crime. So, if anybody is actually learning ethical hacking, he is learning a crime. If he is actually acting as an ethical hacker, he is not permitted as per the law to do any ethical hacking with any institute or any websites, even with the permission of the person. Because, for example, if you get a permission from for my website to hack into these, next day actually I may say that I had given the permission only to hack the things this part. Why did he actually access this unaltered part of the website? Now, in this case, the hacker is in soup. Okay, the punishment for hacking is 3 years. Remember this, and this is a non-bailable offense. So, about the law, we will learn also because in many colleges and institutions, I have seen that some of the trainers are coming up with the ethical hacking options for the students, and they are attracting students to learn the ethical hacking. Remember one thing, ethical hacking is not the course for cyber security. Note it down. Note it down in your note and your in brain. Ethical hacking is not the course for learning the cyber security. There is nothing to do anything with the cyber security with the ethical hacking. So if you know the ethical hacking does not mean you are the you are a cyber security professional. No, not at all. Remember this. And I request all students, even if the person whoever actually given the demonstration of the different tools to you people, do not try, do not try that tool at your location or at a university websites or any other your college website, because once you just for the sake of testing, if you try it, you are committing a big crime. So remember this. So this is always a warning I give to the normally the presenter, any presenter of the colleges where actually they are presenting the cyber ethical hacking course related. This is just commercial terminology they come up with into the market to do the business. So ethical, if see cyber security, if you really want to learn the cyber security, come to my institute. My institute will tell you what is the difference between the hacking, what is the difference between the investigation, what is the difference between forensics, what is the difference between investigations, what is the difference between identification of the evidences, how one can actually present the evidences into the court of the law. So my company and myself is directly connected with the cyber police, and myself actually I also actually connected with the cyber police, and we have personally connected while solving some of the cases, critical cases also, and some of the general cases also. So Twitter cases are there, Facebook cases are there. So these are the small cases. So one case actually my son actually has solved during the lecture given to the cybercrime department of the Mumbai police. Uh, this is a small story you should actually listen. He actually done. My son has done the graduation from the Institute of Forensic Science, Government of Maharashtra, and during the presentation, they got a case. The cybercrime unit has got, sorry, the crime unit has got a case that one one boy is actually missing with 50,000 cash. Now my son actually has just tried to analyze the phone detail of the person, that boy, and he understood that the boy is actually addicted to the uh, that PUBG game, and he just actually traced the location of that PUBG's his group, and he tried to actually locate him, and luckily he was able to trace him out and identify his location also, and he's been actually identified at Thane, and he was actually connected and playing with a 25 group of his friend. But unfortunately, all 25 of his friend actually left over, and this boy actually left and boarded to the Gujarat train and going to the Vapi. And luckily, this police department unit was there. They have actually taken into the custody this boy. So this is the one of the case we have solved live within the 15 minutes of the timeline during the lecture. So this is the what do you say? This is the power of the cyber intelligence. This is nothing but the cyber intelligence. Because to getting the information about the game and getting the location of using the GPS and his friends' location and connectivity is all related to the cyber intelligence. So these are the technique is going to be the future. Uh, so you people should learn this instead of learning the ethical hacking and cracking the tools and cracking the websites because it does not have any value into the market. Nobody is going to ask you how you are going to crack our website and select you as a cyber security. One thing remember, can anyone actually appoint anyone who has a very good into the breaking the house to protect his house, or anyone any father who is actually uh, uh, worrying about his daughter's life, and he appoint the world's best rapist to protect his daughter. So it is like this actually. You are appointing the criminal, the cracker, the window cracker to protect your house. So learning ethical hacking is not a crime. I'm not telling that one should not learn, but it requires a maturity of mind and to understand the some methodology. Okay, 1 second.
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I
Now
got one doubt.
actually I'm shifting my topic to the. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, you said
Yes,
no
yes,
one
you
will
can.
hire you. Sir, you said no one will hire you to crack website or their app. But
Yeah.
sir, we can, cause I mean, with permission, cause they are intention like no one will hack in future or they will take very sensitive data. Like that's important, na?
Okay, that you are talking about the protecting the data, not about the hacking. It is about the protecting the data, about securing the data. So here the scenario is totally different. Here someone is actually asking you to protect their data with future attacks, right? So here now the crackers are required to identify any new attackers are coming up into their server. That time you require this. That time this skill is required, but it is not before the hand. It is not at the time of your
Yes, sir.
appointment. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So
Got it.
at your appointment time, this this skill is not required actually. So now let us actually shift our topic from
Sir, I have a question.
yeah.
Sir, cyber police, which technology used for tracking phone lost? We actually do FIR for uh, which we have lost our phones. So, is this cyber intelligence used for tracking the phones?
Yes, we do use actually. The Mumbai police is using the cyber intelligence to tracking these certain phones, not all the phones. Certain phones means some phone who are which are actually involved into some kind of the anti-national activities like anti-national activities, for example, human trafficking or drug dealing or terrorism. Then that phones can be traced using the cyber intelligence. In general, the public's phones are not actually we take care of tracing the phone. The reason behind is that the workload is so high that we cannot go with the general phone to trace it out. So general public
So, sir,
should
but what they do about tracing, like Do you know any steps that they stress?
See, actually, myself, actually, I am involved into detecting the phone, specifically some high-profile cases. So what they do, actually, we do just try to identify the IMEI number of the person and their tower number based from the IMEI number. So now actually GPS is not no more effective. So what is important is the tower number. So based on the tower number, we can identify the location of the phone, and this is the only way. If the phone is switch off, even though the phone is switch off, we can actually the Mumbai police can actually trace out the that phone, because the last location is important for detecting the specific phone. So this is about all cyber intelligence. You got my point. For example, I am talking to you now.
I got point. Yes, yes, I got that point. But why this cyber intelligence software is not available in public?
No, it cannot be available in the public because what the public is going to use it for, what purpose? You tell
No,
me
no,
that.
no. I'm just asking about tracing the mobile phones, because everyone cannot afford 10,000 or 15,000 to uh, afford, means like giving FIR to police, and then they used to take money from uh, people. And
Remember one thing. Actually, when I actually sit at the cybercrime unit, BKC, you don't know what type of different cases are coming there. This not only this simple phone losing. Sometimes they say that सर आप फोन नहीं मिलेगा तो चलेगा, मेरा डेटा निकाल के दीजिए, आप कैसे भी करके ट्रेस करके दे दीजिए, आप मुझे मेरा डेटा चाहिए बस. Now remember this, how this police department is going to track down his data. Practically it is not possible unless until that specific device is been actually uh, taken into the custody. So to take that specific device into the custody, we required that criminals to be traced out. Now the thing is that phone can be traced, but the energy, the technology, the sources required to trace a phone is more than the cost of the phone. Right? This is the reason why we normally at the police station we say that if you cannot afford to maintain the safety of your 10 to 15,000 property, then don't carry this level of devices with you. Simple.
okay, and last question is that recently news came, Pegasus virus. What is that Pegasus virus came in Android and iOS devices? Uh, Government is controlling Pegasus.
See, Pegasus, as per our information, the security professional information, Pegasus is actually agency developed virus. It is not a single company or a single group developed virus. It is a agency developed virus. So you can understand what I mean to say agency,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Yes,
So
Right.
this is agency developed virus. So specifically, it is developed for China and India by Russia. So this Pegasus is the tool which has the capacity to just insert into the device, and once it get activated, it deletes itself automatically and get activated into the device. And even if you format that device, that specific Pegasus is always active into the device, because it get resets into the main what you say, that BIOS system of this device. So unless until you throw away that device, Pegasus is there always.
So, is there any payload? Is
No payloads are used actually. No payloads are used at all. That's the beauty, no. That is the beauty of this Pegasus. Pegasus actually just get connected to your device. So the server it connect to the one server. Okay, so for example, Pegasus 1 is now connected to my device and Pegasus 2 is connected to your device. Now Pegasus 1 and Pegasus 2 both has a different server. They both are actually connected through the different server. And the payload, what we say payload, now it is not a payload. In the first thing, actually that script is run into our device, and once the script is activated, it get deleted. It has a that script has a capacity to delete itself automatically. So if you want actually just a Google search, it has all the technical details available on the Pegasus, and it is one of the smartest virus developed in the world. In fact, I said
Yes, sir.
it is the only smartest virus detected so far by the technology, because it is not the first virus. Remember, there are so many viruses developed because during the Second World War, that baby, you know what is baby, na? Baby one
Yes,
and
sir.
baby. Yeah, so this baby one and baby two details actually were already been hacked by Korea. So Korea were aware that this baby one and baby two is going to launch, and Korea actually saved themselves from the target. So this is the technological things. Now I'll tell you one more thing. There is one Pegasus-like virus into the launch into the uh, uh, what you say, that patrolling pipeline of the Saudi. Okay. Now this actually connected to the Saudi line to the Iraq. So here from here that specific tool actually get activated and blasted the all the pipeline of the gas and petroleum of the Saudi Arabia and Iraq. Can you imagine how the technology can impact our life directly? So same thing is going to happen with this our corona also. You never know that how this corona is going to be actually exposed or is going to be detected again. So it's totally different, right? So there
Sir,
are,
good morning, sir. Hello.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, I have a question. Like, those are the chaps, those are preparing for raw agencies and IS. So, what should they prepare for the cyber securities? They should go into the particular field that you told about, or they should learn about ethical hacking and the certification courses.
I don't know means what exactly. I didn't got your question. Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, hello. Sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah.
Can you
I
repeat
was
your?
asking. Yeah, I'm audible, sir. I'm asking like that people who are preparing for the raw agency or
Sir,
the national intelligence agency. So
Okay,
how
okay,
should
okay,
they
okay,
prepare
okay.
for cyber
You are talking
securities?
about the agencies who are actually looking at the hackers instead of the cyber
Yeah,
security professionals.
yeah.
See, actually, no agencies are actually searching for the hackers. They don't appoint any hackers at all. Remember these things. कोई भी एजेंसी हैकर्स को अपॉइंट करती नहीं है. अगर आपके पास CH का सर्टिफिकेट है तो भूल जाइए कि आपको कोई बड़ी कंपनी अपॉइंट करेगी या एजेंसी अपॉइंट करेगी उनके कोई बड़े प्रोजेक्ट के लिए या नेशनल सिक्योरिटी प्रोजेक्ट के लिए। इम्पॉसिबल है ये चीज़ें जस्ट एक क्या बोलते हैं, एक वर्चुअल वर्चुअल पिक्चर बना के स्टूडेंट्स के सामने रखा गया है, and they are fooling the students, and students and their parents are now actually not getting the understanding what the difference between the cyber security and cyber uh, ethical hacking, right? So just let me finish this PPT first. Thereafter we'll go with the many different cases and questions also, क्योंकि टॉपिक ही कुछ और लेके बैठा था मैं और डिस्कशन में कुछ और हो रहा है। तो कंप्यूटर फोरेंसिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन एंड लीगैलिटी ऑफ द कंप्यूटर एविडेंसेस। नाउ you will understand what exactly importance of this computer evidences and what is the importance of cyber forensics, okay, and what is the legality of the uh, this forensic sciences.
Excuse me,
So
sir. So
yes,
sorry to disturb. Sir, I think you had not shared your PPTs.
which PPT? This PPT is not shareable.
Not sir.
Okay, then let me see. Chintu, the screen is not getting shared. Now it is visible. Hello.
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
it's visible. It's visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's visible now, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, actually, to be frank with you people, I am coming into this industry back after 2 years. Remember,
Yes, sir. We are aware. We are aware, sir.
right? So this is actually I'm living the second life.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
I was already dead.
yes, sir. We are aware of that.
So this is the reason why I'm trying my level best to present myself in front of you people. And actually, the stamina which are required to present and the power which I used to actually show into my normal presentation was totally different. Still, I am actually trying to maintain the what you say the pace of the uh, understanding of this subject. So let us see the forensic science and its various domains. See, remember why I'm talking about the forensic science various domains and why I'm going to discuss the forensic science. The reason behind is that unless until you don't understand what the forensic science is and what is the power of that forensic science is. For example, the ethical hacking, right? So ethical hacking, normally when the ethical hacking incident has actually happened, so during the investigation, some evidences are there. The tools, the person's activity, everything get recorded into the tools, into the system. So this is the forensics of the investigation. Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're audible.
Okay. So no, there was a different disturbance in between, and somebody were discussing something different. So computer evidence and its legality, the computer forensic process, computer forensics tools, these all things we need to understand. First, let us understand the forensic science. If you people really interested in understanding the forensic science, I can actually go further. Otherwise, I can skip this PPT. Just tell me. आप बता दीजिए कि ये फोरेंसिक्स का जो
Let's discuss.
Discuss in detail.
ओके नो प्रॉब्लम. So forensics science is defined by use of the science and technology to enforce the civil and criminal laws. It is vague and hard to define because it includes so many other areas of the science. So, for example, rape. It is not easy to define, prove the rape. You know that if we
Yes,
people are aware, to prove a rape in the court of law, it's very tough. The toughest things in the world is to prove the rape, right? One can actually my son can actually easily prove murder, but he cannot prove the rape. He is actually forensic graduate. The reason behind is that there are so many contents and aspects are involved into these specific incidents. It has to be maintained properly. So let us not discuss the things into this. The testimonial evidences are there. Types of evidences are different. Types of evidences are physical evidences are traceable evidences are there. Okay, so there are different types of evidences. Lockhart is the person who has actually defined a law where actually two things come in each other's context. Then they actually exchange the properties. So this is the Lockhart's law normally applies to the forensics as well as everywhere. For example, if I am shaking hand with you, we are actually exchanging the DNAs. We are not shaking hand with each other. We are actually exchanging DNA with each other. So this is the Lockhart's law. The physical science forensics is that about the medicines, drugs. Then ballistic science is used for from which angle the actually bullet is being shot and what type of bullet, what type of gun is used. So this is about the ballistic forensics. Document forensics. So any fake documents are there. Uh, one can easily detect the fake document also, fake signature or fake document also, property document. Biological, hair, fibers, DNA,
Hello, sir.
forensic. Yes,
Sir, actually, your screen is frozen.
screen is frozen.
Yes, sir. We are not able to see the slides you are talking about.
Okay, I'm moving faster, I think, comparatively.
No, sir. Actually, the screen is frozen. The slides are not getting changed. We are on the first slide.
Okay. So Lockhart's law is visible to you.
No, sir. Actually, I think you haven't shared the whole screen, so that's why it is frozen.
No, I shared the whole screen actually. I don't know why this is actually happening. This full screen actually I already shared.
Sir, can you just stop and start it again? I think it will fix that.
One second. Let me call up my son. He can help me out actually. One second. चिंटू आए तो जरा बेटा આખી સ્ક્રીન નથી દેખાતી એમ કે આખી સ્ક્રીન નથી દેખાતી એમ Now you can see the full screen.
Yes, sir. Now we are able to see the forensic science slide.
The full screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I think you have to scroll down to the Occam's law, that slide. Um,
1 second.
fourth
चिंटू
or fifth slide.
चिंटू पाछू एक्चुअली થઈ ગયું પ્રોબ્લેમ થઈ ગયો. હવે આને ફોરવર્ડ કેમ કરવાનું? Now you can see the full screen.
Yes, now we can see, but sir, you have to go down, I think. Next slide.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes, sir, now it is scrolling.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have seen the Locard's law.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm just moving faster because there is a time restrictions. So now actually coming to our best part, the computer forensics. Like other domains also, computer is also having a forensics. So one will be just thinking of like what kind of evidences is going to be into the computer, because for murder, rape and other things, the blood spatter is there, hairs are there, then fingerprints are there. But in computers, what are the evidences? What are the evidences are actually been considered as main evidences? So the proper acquisition and preservation of the computer evidences are required. So normally computer forensics we define as a collection of the preservation and analysis of the uh, data that is actually been used, available data. So more challenging are evidences cannot be touch, smell or taste. See, computer evidences we cannot touch or smell or taste. So evidences are volatile in nature. So if a small mistake is been done, the evidences get volatile and damaged. So evidences can be destroyed easily to the extent to the non-recoverable state. Special skills are required to identify, acquire, and analyze preservation till the presentation of the court of law. And so, as per the section 2, what is computer? The definition of the computer is totally different. Normally, we say that computer is any electronic device. Okay. Now, as per the law, computer means any electronic, magnetic, optical, or other high-speed data processing device or system which performing logical, arithmetic, and memory function. So this is the definition of the law as per the IT Act. Remember. So as per the definition, if we go, microwave is also a computer. Got my point? Your microwave is also a computer. Your automatic car is also a computer. Your mobile is also a computer. So these are the things normally defined as a computer. So computer normally plays 3 roles: as a weapon or as a target or a storage facility. Uh, we as a cyber forensic experts, our duty is to protect the evidences and capture the data which are actually required to be presented in the court of law. So whether the data is encrypted or not, that we have to see afterwards. And these are the things normally uh, thumb rule for the forensics. And this forensics, network forensics, operating system forensics, application forensics. So different level of the forensics are there. So forensics investigation is more challenging than your ethical hacking or hacking also. So forensic investigation is more challenging, and it required more skill, and it has a more career opportunity into the market. There is a high demand into the forensics and audit forensics experts, and you can search for the requirement of the forensics and audit the forensics candidates into the market. So these are the enemies of the forensics. So these are the normal forensics practices. So I am not discussing such more things in the forensic practices. Okay, so this is the device is used for acquiring the system, and we acquire the image. Then this is a process, and then we calculate the MD5 hash value, and this is the tool used to calculate the MD5 hash value also. So this is the inside data content of the hard disk, and we recover the deleted data, stack space, hidden disk space, encrypted, protected data, steganography, documents are there. So chain of custody is there. That one person is handing over the evidences to other person. The chain of custody document is prepared. So legal report has to be prepared, and it has to be presented in the court of law as a main report signed by the exhibitor. So before going further, let us see the act. Are you people are listening, or just I am speaking?
Yeah, it's audible,
Listening, we are
audible.
listening.
Listening.
Okay, okay. So section 43 is a unauthorized access section. So anybody, whoever actually without the permission of the person access the computer system. So you know what is the computer is the definition of the computer you have seen in as per the law. So anything which is coming into the definition of the computer is a computer. So section 43 is there. So it is always without the permission. If anyone, for example, you people, or one of your student actually access my mobile phone, it has been considered as an unauthorized access, right? So even if he has not done anything with the things or the phone, but he has just accessed it, it is unauthorized access. Section 43 is losses to the corporates and body with the unauthorized access. So with hacking or some other things, uh, the device is damaged and server is damaged, then section 43 they can actually claim up to 5 crore rupees from the government of India. Section 66 is a criminal section related with section 43. So hacking is dishonestly or fraudulently does any act referred to the section 43, punishable under section punishable with 3 years imprisonment and 5 lakhs rupees penalty or both. Remember this if you are learning the ethical hacking. Okay, so section 66. Section 66B is for receiving, storing, retaining stolen computer resources or computer devices. So if you are actually downloading any pirated software and it is actually stored into your computer, it is a stolen computer material. So it is a punishable offense. So section 66 is related to the identity theft. So if you are using somebody else's identity and using computer to present yourself as somebody else, so some boy actually creating the Facebook profile of any girls and presenting in the college and just for fun actually is doing nothing, then this is a punishable offense under Section 66C. Section 66D is cheats any personation using computer resources. So cheating using computer or computer device is also a crime. Violating the privacy by capturing the publishing the transmitting image of a private area of the person without consent or publishing as a 66B. Remember these things. Capturing the private area photograph of a woman or a girl, so are different. The private area of a male persons are different. For example, the chest of a male person is not a private area, but the same area is a private area of a female. So remember these things. So these are the differences. So these areas are actually being considered as a private area. Section 66 have about the cyber terrorism, life imprisonment. Section 67 is for the pornography. So if anybody is actually just for the fun sharing the nude movie or sexually explicit material in friends circle or in colleges, then it is a 7 years to 3 years imprisonment, 10 lakhs rupees penalty. In second section, second time, so it's a 5 years imprisonment and 10 lakhs rupees penalty. So child pornography is highly punishable offense. So any children's nude photograph, publishing the nude photograph of our children, even if it is your boy or it is your family boy, you should not actually publish the pornography of that boy or a girl, right? That's all for the day. Actually, I have finished very fast. So if you have any questions, now you can shoot and give me the feedback of this presentation.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in the town of Jamtara, many illiterate people clone mobile number and use for fraudulent activity. And my question is why cyber police don't trace them their location and
No,
put them
who
in
said
jail?
you? Who said you that they are not tracing? Actually, myself, actually, I have traced one person from the Jamtara and brought him into the cyber crime unit. Uh, so Jamtara is traceable. Now the actually Jamtara is totally busted. Now no criminals are there at Jamtara. To be frank with you, no activities carrying out at Jamtara. Now everything is shifted to the Noida. Now every criminals are shifted to the Noida, and they are using the virtual numbers. They are not using the actual numbers. So the technique of using this crime is totally changed. Right. So Jamtara is a history. Nobody actually using the Jamtara now. अगर कोई बोलता है कि जामतारा से कॉल आया तो गलत बोल रहे हैं. जामतारा पूरा बस्टर्ड कर दिया है. बाल सिंह राजपूत जो डीसीपी थे, तो हम लोगों की टीम वहाँ जाके पूरा मतलब वहाँ पे जो लोकल मिनिस्टर्स थे उनसे कनेक्टेड रह के ये पूरा चलता था. तो ये टोटल बस्ट कर दिया है. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. जामतारा इज नो मोर एक्टिव.
And sir, last question is, do you know rubber ducky USB? And when we attach a USB rubber ducky in a system, the malicious code run actually, and any antivirus is installed in their PC. They can't detect the USB or something running scripts in background.
Remember these things. Anything which is attached to your device, anything. Physically, if your system is actually connected to any devices, right? So anything is content of that device is there is actually take participate into the activity of the system, and it get activated automatically. And once see, remember in computers, anything, any viruses or anything required to be get activated, it requires only one shot. It does not require multiple shots to run. So it requires only one shot to run. And once it is run, thereafter you delete it, it is okay with that. It is there, matlab, it is there in the system always. So nowadays these viruses are more smarter than the previous one. So just remember, when you are actually connecting any devices to your actual device.
Sir, I am actually talking about the rubber ducky USB. It is a crime device which actually runs malicious code to the device.
Yeah, rubber ducking, I know actually. Rubber ducking is actually just a USB device, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a USB device. That's what I'm saying. It's connected to the USB. It's connected to the USB. So see, actually, to connect anything to or just to get into my system, you require some source of connection. Okay, any port or anything. So whether it is a rubber ducking or any other devices, you require to be some access to my system by any port or any connectivity devices or any connectivity options. So you can name it afterwards anything, rubber ducking or whatever it is. It's just a name.
Excuse me, sir. I had one question.
Yeah.
Sir, what are your views on the Tor browser, dark web, and all the illegal activities happening there? Why is it so difficult to track and get down those websites?
Who said you that it is not it is difficult to trace down the Tor? It's
Uh,
very easy. It is very easy. It is very easy, and one can. I can also detect the Tor. And remember one thing: Tor is legal or illegal?
Tor is legal.
Tor is legal, right?
Yeah,
I guess so. It's illegal for some
it's
issues
illegal when you use it for like some.
for
Exactly.
accessing dark web and other unnecessary things.
Yeah,
Smart
yeah.
answer. Yeah, smart answer. This is the first time actually I'm getting the smart answer. Otherwise, in most of the cases, I used to get the answer that Tor is illegal. And what about the
No, no.
torrent? Torrent is legal or illegal?
Torrents are also used for the same purposes, but sir, these are somehow beneficial and somehow harmful for our computers and privacy concerns also.
Exactly. When it is been
Depends,
actually
sir.
it is been actually used for the purpose of legal, then it is legal. And when it is been used for the criminal activities, then it is illegal.
When it gets illegal, yeah.
Sir, I need your help and one concern. Like I am in first year, so I wanted to prepare myself into cybersecurity field for joining special agencies like the RAW or the defense agencies or the national intelligence agencies. So how can I prep for the from the starting first year to my fourth year so I can get into that?
So you have to actually go very far away
Yes, sir.
because this is just a beginning. So you have to actually just try to find out more sources from the internet, and try to find out the legitimate sources, and don't use search engine like Google. Okay, so I'm
Which
suggesting
search engine should you should prepare like how much search engine should I use for my usually surveying things and everything? Any
DuckDuckGo.
suggestions, please?
DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. Okay. So if I want to run basically Tor browser, so is it like for normal surfing only? I guess so it would be plenty safe enough for me.
There is no need to use the Tor unnecessarily unless until you require it.
Okay, sir.
Tell your friend that if it is not required, don't use the Tor unnecessarily.
So, sir,
Okay.
which search engine should we have to use without Google?
Uh, there are so many options available in the market, and online.
Is DuckDuckGo is a safer thing?
DuckDuckGo is the safest uh, browser, and the secondary option is normally we go with the uh, different browser like एक सेकंड चिंटू બીજું બ્રાઉઝર કયું આપણે બીજું બ્રાઉઝર કયું વાપર Mozilla. You can use Mozilla also.
I
Mozilla,
was thinking of this only, sir.
yeah,
Mozilla.
Mozilla is also is a good option browser available in the market.
And sir, you are into that
And sir,
agency, like in the police department. So, like, what are the skills required for a person to get hired into these type of communities or the departments of government service sectors? What are the abilities that a person requires?
Remember one thing actually to get acquired with the government system, one should understand the acquisition procedure of the government. ओके
Okay, sir.
गवर्नमेंट में सिलेक्शन कैसे होता है, आपको ऑफिसर का पोस्ट कहाँ से कैसे मिलता है, ये आपको पहले समझना चाहिए. इसमें गवर्नमेंट में ऐसा कभी होता नहीं है कि आप साइबर एक्सपर्ट हो गए और आपको ऑफिसर बना दिया गया. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल.
Yes, sir.
यू हैव टू बी आईपीएस. ओके, आपको आईपीएस का एग्जाम पास करना है, आपको आईपीएस का ड्यूटी करना है, आपको डिफरेंट लोकेशन पे एज ए आईपीएस ड्यूटी डिस्चार्ज करना है. Thereafter, they will come to know that okay, this person is actually is capable of doing the cyber capabilities. Then only as a IPS of a cyber, one person can be appointed. Otherwise,
Yes, sir.
फॉरगेट अबाउट थिंकिंग. मतलब अगर आप आंखों में सपना देख रहे हैं कि मैं ये डिग्री ले लूँगा और मैं सीधा आईपीएस बन जाऊँगा, so it is not there. Remember this. So if you want to acquire yourself with the government system, you have to actually pass the certain government examinations and acquire certain positions in government.
sir, do we need any
Okay, sir.
antivirus in
Yes, sir.
current our Windows?
I don't use any antivirus. You know that.
So, Windows Defender is the best option for protecting
I
ourselves.
don't. I stopped using the Windows since last 8 years. I don't use Windows since last 8 years.
So, do you use Linux system?
Yes, Parrot is the one of the best operating system.
Oh, Parrot OS and what about the Kali Linux?
No, it's Kali Linux is it's useless thing actually. No, normally the Kali Linux generally waste the time of the students. So you keep on testing the tools and all this. So it's better not to go with the Kali Linux. Parrot is a security tool. It allows you to the things you want to use. The rest of the things are not used at all. That's the difference.
So, sir, in Maharashtra, Quick Heal is the popular antivirus, and also in India. But there is many editions like Antivirus Pro, Total Security, Server Edition. Suppose I'm using a Total Security Edition, and there is a feature like called Data Breaching Alert. Suppose one hacker is attacking me, and is this really working data breaching feature?
Not at all, actually. Not at all. And no antivirus can actually protect your data if you are using a Windows operating system. I can guarantee you. Whatever version you use, whatever quality you use, if you are using the Windows operating system, no antivirus can actually save your data. Okay, and remember one thing. Oh, you know what is the difference between data protection, data security, and data safety? These all are same things, right? Are you getting me or not?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, but not exactly everything is connected. Somehow there is a very little bit amount of difference between these three.
It is not somehow. It's totally different.
Yes, sir.
Totally different. It's like sky and earth difference.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
डेटा
I was
सेफ्टी
just
डिफरेंट,
increasing it.
ये सभी में आसमान जमीन का फर्क पड़ जाता है। तो
Yes,
ये
sir.
जो
Yes, sir.
टर्मिनोलॉजी है, जब तक आप लोग समझेंगे नहीं तब तक आप साइबर सिक्योरिटी डेटा सिक्योरिटी में क्या कुछ नहीं कर सकते।
सर सो
और आप लोग
जैसे आपका इंस्टीट्यूट है तो आपसे कैसे सीख सकते हैं हम लोग
हाँ
अबाउट साइबर इंटेलिजेंस हाउ
बोलिए
कैन वी
सॉरी।
लर्न साइबर इंटेलिजेंस हाउ कैन
See,
वी
my,
लर्न
my
इन साइबर
institute, my institute has started at in collaboration with JVM Mehta College in the name of the Cyber Intelligence Institute of National Institute of Cyber Intelligence and Investigation. We have started a project. So maybe in a month or two, we will be launching the courses of the cyber intelligence, small. So small
यस सर
searching techniques, uh, small detecting investigation techniques. So all these things we are going to actually launch. So I'm not actually promoting. Okay, I'm not actually marketing my this institute. So please forgive me. But we are going to launch it by any way. So if you have any time, uh, just within after 2 3 months, visit to the JVM Mehta College, and you may get the information about this at Airoli.
ओके सर
Uh,
थैंक यू सो मच
Sir, what do you think about CEH and OSCP certifications?
So CH is total waste at the beginning. Okay,
But it is better to clear our fundamentals, right?
who said?
Like it's the basics certification.
किसने बोला सर? सर किसने बोला आपको कि आप सीएच करेंगे तो आपका बेसिक फंडामेंटल क्लीन होगा?
नहीं ऐसा किसी ने बोला तो नहीं बट
तो फिर ये परसेप्शन लेके क्यों घूमते हो?
हाँ
और कैरियर साइबर सिक्योरिटी कैरियर चूज करने में आप इतना ब्लाइंडनेस क्यों दिखाते हो? मुझे समझ में नहीं आता है कि व्हाई द स्टूडेंट्स आर शोइंग देयर ब्लाइंडनेस इन सिलेक्टिंग द साइबर सिक्योरिटी कैरियर। आपको सीखना है तो मैं आपको सर्टिफिकेशन बोलता हूँ, आप करो। सीसा सर्टिफाइड इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम ऑडिटर, जिसके अंदर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट फेल होता है, आप करो, इसका एग्जाम दे के देखो। सीसा ISO
सर कैन यू
27001
प्लीज रिपीट द एग्जाम
लीड ऑडिटर। सॉरी,
सर आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी ब्रेक हो गई थी एग्जाम का नहीं आपने कुछ बताया तो मैं सुन नहीं पाया
हाँ तो आप दे सकते हो ना एग्जाम, सीसा का एग्जाम देना है
सर तो
आपको तो
उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा प्रिपेयर कैसे करेंगे उसके लिए?
उसका एग्जाम देना है तो आप यहाँ से अप्लाई कर दीजिए, विद्या विहार से, वहाँ पे ऑफिस है उनका। ISO
ओके
27001 लीड ऑडिटर करना है तो आप मिस्टर दिनेश बरेजा से कांटेक्ट कीजिए। तो इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट ट्रेनर एंड लीड ऑडिटर। ये चीजें है ना, अ, ये आपको सर पे बिठाएंगी सिक्योरिटी इंडस्ट्री में।
यस सर।
समझे आप मेरी बात को? इथिकल हैकिंग और ये सब है जो है ना, वो आपको ग्राउंड लेवल पे स्क्रू ड्राइवर लेके लेबर काम करने का लिए अगर आपको सिलेक्ट करना है तो आप CH सीखो। अदरवाइज जरूरत नहीं है कुछ भी करने की। मेरे बेटे को अभी तक CH नहीं करवाया मैंने।
सर आप डिफरेंट कोर्सेज के मतलब नाम बता सकते हो क्या, मतलब कौन से करनी चाहिए?
कोर्सेज काफ़ी है बेटा। मैंने तो बता दिए, 2 कोर्स तो है जो आपको लाइफ में आगे बढ़ना है नंबर 1 पे। अगर आपको बॉस के सर पे बैठना है तो ये 2 कोर्सेज है। बॉस के सर पे बैठना है तो जो
यस सर, यस सर।
कंपनी का जो बॉस होता है ना उसके सर पे
हम्म।
बैठना है तो ये 2 कोर्स कर दीजिए आप। जैसे मैं शीशा हूँ, मैं ऑडिटर हूँ, मैं जब भी जाता हूँ तो अ, जो ओनर होता है वो मेरे सामने बैठा हुआ रहता है, ऐसे बकरी बन के बैठा रहता है, बिकॉज आई एम ऑडिटर, राइट। और लीड ऑडिटर जो होता है तो हम जो है सिक्योरिटी की हर चीज़ को आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि भाई इसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें लूप होल्स है। तो जो जो चीज लूप होल्स दिखते हैं उसको रेड मार्क करके जो जिसने इम्प्लीमेंट किया है या जो भी सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर होता है उसका उसके कपड़े निकाल लेते हैं वहाँ पे। कपड़े निकालते हैं मतलब उसको परेशान कर देते हैं उसको फिर। तो ये कुछ क्वालिफिकेशंस है, ये क्वालिफिकेशंस को अकॉर्ड कीजिए आप लोग, बच्चे लोग। आप ये CH VH के पीछे मत पड़ो यार। 20,000 25,000 में अगर सिक्योरिटी प्रोफेशनल बन जाते आप लोग। मैंने 22 साल निकाले IT सिक्योरिटी में, 22 years, and it took me around 6 years to learn the CEH। मतलब वो भी 6 साल मुझे इसलिए लगे क्योंकि मुझे एक एक केस के अंदर CH का कुछ जरूरत पड़ा था। वो मुझे एक्चुअली कंटेंट को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए, वो चीज़ सीखने के लिए मुझे CH किया था। अदरवाइज मैं CH
Sir, I am third year guy, currently studying in diploma computer engineering. So I want to in my future, my goal is in to do cyber security, cyber cell. So after diploma, so which degree should I choose?
सर डिप्लोमा के बाद अभी कोई क्या क्या कौन सी डिग्री करवाओ? एक्चुअली इंडियन स्ट्रक्चर में आइडेंटिफाई किया जाता है, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि डिप्लोमा ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, डिग्री इम्पोर्टेंट होती है। पहले तो आपने चूज ही गलत किया। आपने कैरियर चूज करने के टाइम पे ये चीज़ें गलत चूज कर ली, आपने डिप्लोमा सिलेक्ट कर लिया डिग्री की जगह पे। तो डिप्लोमा आपको कभी नहीं
Sir,
करना चाहिए।
after passing third year of diploma,
सर
तो
मैं क्या
उसके
बोल रहा
बाद
हूँ,
में
मैं आपको क्या बोल रहा हूँ, आपकी 3rd ईयर की डिग्री और 5 years का डिप्लोमा, दोनों
नहीं
के
सर 3
सामने।
years का है।
सुनो ना मेरी बात, मैं खाली एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ कि आपका 3 years का डिप्लोमा और 3 years की डिग्री, दोनों को सामने रखेंगे, दोनों कैंडिडेट को। आपके सामने जो ग्रेजुएट है उसको सिलेक्ट कर लेंगे, डिप्लोमा होल्डर को सिलेक्ट नहीं करेंगे। इसके लिए आपको अपने आप को अपग्रेड करना पड़ेगा डिग्री लेवल पे। समझे आप मेरी बात को?
लेकिन क्यों होता है ऐसा सर?
हाँ, अरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम है ब्रिटिश लोगों ने सेट करके रखी है हमारे लिए। हम लोगों को अच्छी तरह पढ़ाई कर सके, इसके लिए सिस्टम बना के रखी है। एनीथिंग एल्स? और कुछ क्वेश्चन है क्या?
Sir, I have
like मैं अभी
one question
अच्छा
to
आप
you.
पहले बोल दीजिए।
Hello. Sir, is I audible?
Yes, I am audible.
Sir, I just want to know, as you said that in the earlier slide, that if you get the name, you can find the details of the things. As you have developed one search engine, you can find that entire details.
Yes.
Because of the social media and all these things, the data is visible to everybody. So how could somebody should prevent from such kind of things, so that my data should remain private?
See, input your minimum data into the social media. Okay, don't input your original data, don't use your original name. Okay, आपका नाम अगर महेश है तो आप माइकल रखो, जरूरी नहीं है ऐसा कुछ रूल है क्या गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का कि आपको फेसबुक में रियल नाम लिखना है? नहीं ना, तो आप महेश की जगह पे माइकल रखो और उस प्रोफाइल को आप यूज करो, और आपके फ्रेंड्स को खाली पता होना चाहिए कि माइकल कौन है। आप समझे मेरी बात को? तो आपका डेटा जो है वो अगर हैक भी होगा तो लॉस नहीं होगा कुछ भी।
Sir, now for example, if I have my vehicle that is registered in the RTO, so from that vehicle name also, from that vehicle number, the data of my who is the owner of that car is been disclosed.
हाँ, उनका एक्चुअली आरटीओ का तो सिस्टम है यार, उस आरटीओ का सिस्टम से तो डेटा मिल जाता है।
Yes.
It's not a big deal.
So how should we prevent that? Because from that
No,
vehicle number,
that you cannot prevent it actually.
you cannot prevent it, right?
It's a government of India's policy to give the owner details based on the numbers.
If based on that, they can get my mobile number, they can get my address and all these things.
Yes, it is for the safety and security of the vehicle owner.
Okay.
It is not for the problem of creating a problem to the owner of the vehicle. हमारे बेनिफिट के लिए ही है वो, तो उसको आप प्रिवेंट नहीं कर सकते। Right?
Thank you so much, sir. That was a wonderful doubt session. Hello, everyone. My name is Ayushi Tiwari, and I'm the Media Graphics Chief at RIT ACM. A leader is the one who lights the path of the impossible and takes those who follows to the great heights. It would be an injustice to proceed the event without calling up upon our wings of flight, a pillar of strength, and our constant source of motivation. We accordingly invite our Honorable Head of Department of Information Technology, Dr. Ashish Jadhav sir, to express his views about the Cybersecurity Awareness Program.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ramesh sir, for a very wonderful talk. So first of all, it is a very great thing that two of the committees, ACM and CSI, came together for hosting this wonderful Cybersecurity Awareness Week. It's really a very good initiative, and I think in the future, more technical committees should come together and come up with very good events for the benefit of all the students. Then I'm really happy with the audience which we have. Such motivated and passionate students we have who are interested in this very, what you can say, abstract and complicated area of cybersecurity. Now, this area is not very easy, like you have seen from so many speakers who have spent their life in this, and we can see their dedication, which they have worked in this area. So So it is very good to see that at the start of engineering, you are so much attracted towards this area. And I promise you that this is a very interesting area in which you can spend your life and you will still enjoy. Because see, the thing which sort of attracts me to this area is like, it is like a game. Okay, it is like a competition between the good and the bad. So if you see, our traditionally things, starting from our mythology, everywhere it is the good against the bad. And it goes on and on. There is no end to it. As technology progresses, as the world progresses, good and bad are going to exist. And the struggle between them, the struggle for the goodness to sort of pervade is always going to be there. Okay, so this is a very, I would say, it's such an interesting area in which you can keep on working throughout your life, and always you will find something new to learn and something new to do in this area. So I really thank some of you. I think, what was that person who was asking, who wants to work in RAW? Are you still there? First year student?
So I am the one.
Amiya Kumar. Yeah, it is
Yes, sir.
very interesting. I'm really impressed by your interest in this, and I really thank
you
you
so much,
for
sir.
pursuing in this area. And like Ramesh sir very rightly said, like security, you should have an interest. You should learn more and more. But when you get into a job, it won't be like a developer who is interested in security, a tester who is interested in security, a software engineer who is interested in security, or like you can go into the UPSCs where all the government services are there. We have IAS, we have IPS, we have IES, we have other defense services like even Air Force, Navy, even Army people recruit engineers, and they do all of this. A war scenario is where security is really used at a very different way, rather than what we use it for our common or lay persons, like for internet and all this. Those security services are very different, and it's a very, you can say, broad field. Okay, so it is a very good thing that you are interested in this. Just keep
Well,
your
actually, from
interest.
childhood, I'm there. Like, I have to serve for my nation because if my father was in army, he retired as Black Belt Commander Chief. So it's my personal interest. I wanted to serve for my nation from childhood, whether it's
Very good, very
defense
good. I really applaud
or
your
an
these
IAS.
views, and I applaud that at a young age you are so much interested in this. So it is
Thank you so much, sir.
very good to see all this.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
It's my
so
honor.
all of you, I just have a simple request: keep your interest alive in this. I know it is difficult. What sir said, CISSP and CISA are not very simple exams. You need a lot of effort to prepare for this and to get those and to become a security auditor. Okay, so it is an ongoing effort. As of now, you do whatever at your level is possible. Keep the interest alive, and you will get opportunities in your life as your experience increases to move deeper and deeper in this area. It will not suddenly come. You cannot become an auditor as a fresh student. Okay, but keep that interest alive, and one day you will reach there. I assure you, one day you will reach there. Okay, so with that, I will like to thank everybody involved in this, and I will like to conclude my short, whatever address I have done to this initiative by ACM and CSI. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening us with your words of wisdom. Now we will proceed with the vote of thanks. We are all going to have to change how we think about the data protection. Thank you, Mr. Raman Ugnia, sir, for your valuable time and presence. It was a pleasure learning and gaining knowledge from you. Special thanks to Mrs. Somli Banerjee ma'am, Dr. Vinita Mane ma'am, Mrs. Anita Patel, and Dr. Gautam Borkar sir. Thank you, teachers, for your help and guidance. I would like to thank the principal of RIT, Dr. Mukesh Patel sir, and HOD of IT department, Dr. Ashish Jadhav sir. Thank you, dear participants, for attending today's session. We hope you learned and enjoyed the event. Do not forget to attempt the quiz on Instagram. Thank you everyone for your enthusiastic participation. The link of the attendance and the quiz will be given in the chat below. Please fill the chat so that you can get the certificate. For more such updates about
Okay.
the event, don't forget to follow RIT ACM on their social media handles. Be safe, secure from cybersecurity threats, and keep learning. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's a wonderful session.
Wonderful session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank
your
you so much, sir.
guidance.
Thank you so much, sir.
Have a pleasant day to all. Thank you so much.